Hey guys, my name is Jill Cherry, owner of Cherry Picked Webco, and I have a challenge for you. I want you to watch this video because my friend Dan McCoy flew this plane here to meet me today to talk about cybersecurity and why it's so important, which brought up a really good thought. He can fly this plane. I cannot. I can barely drive a car. So it made me think how many of you hire people to do a professional job that have no business doing that job. For example, build your website. You can easily find anyone offline, off Fiverr, your best friend did it, some other company gave you some, I won't name names, crappy website, whatever. And it's like, they're not even really qualified to do that. Or you have your marketing company build you a website for free because it's a part of the package. It's like, but that's not what they're intended or designed to do, and they're not professionals in that area. So it's kind of like Dan flying this plane. He's the professional. He has the qualifications to do that, and I don't. So here at Cherry Picked, we really believe in power partnerships, finding people that we believe in what they do. They're professional at what they do, and they specialize in that one thing. And so this video is going to be all about cybersecurity with Dan McCoy. Hey guys, I'm Jill Cherry, owner of Cherry Picked Webco, and I have a super special guest with me today. Some of you may know him, but for those of you who don't, who do I have with me today?
It's Dan McCoy from Tech Subluxation. How are you?
Good.
Hey, everybody.
I don't know if you know this, but Dan knows how to fly. So he actually flew in specifically to film this with me today. And we're going to be talking all about how to know if your website is secure or why security is important. I think it's really interesting that you know how to fly a plane, right?
Yeah.
And I don't. But a lot of chiropractors hire people to do jobs for them that those people aren't qualified, and so they end up with a faulty product, or what we're going to be talking about today about getting hacked. A big problem right now, I feel like, is Facebook. Everyone's Facebook's getting hacked.
There's a ton of that. Hey, before we get into that though, can I just point something out? This is Florida here, and we're in the Northeast, and it's a little cold, so she's definitely cold. And ironically, she's got a shirt with an airplane on it, so I think this was fate. It was meant to happen.
Planned.
Not planned. Honestly, really not. That's super cool. But yeah, it's a big deal. You know, and if I can right out of the gate give you some value, and that is, if you're using social media, or any of your team are using social media, you need, like, now pause the video and go and turn on multi-factor or two-factor authentication on your Facebook accounts, all of your social media. In fact, if it has two-factor authentication at all, you need to go turn it on now. Why? How many of the group, members of the group that we're in, have gone and gotten hacked? Like, they're at an event and maybe they were using public Wi-Fi. I think that was the case because a lot of them got hit. And they were like, next day, they got hit. Now, let me put this in perspective. One of them manages 50 different Facebook pages. And I was having a conversation about what we charge and how we serve chiropractors, and he was like, that is cheap compared to the amount of money we lost during the 20 or so days that they didn't have access to their Facebook account, able to run ads that bring in money for their businesses. Cheap, he said. In fact, we're having a conversation tomorrow because they were like, hey, we want to work with you. And because, I mean, they know what it's like. How many people, unfortunately, wait till after the fire in their house to get better insurance or different protections?
Right. So that's exactly why I wanted to have a conversation with Dan, because at Cherry Picked, I'm a firm believer that we are a master at one thing. We do not try to play the jack of all trades type, thing. And so we find people that we trust and we partner with. The reason I love Dan is because he specializes in chiropractors and I specialize in chiropractors because we just love chiropractic in the community. The whole purpose of this talk is just to honestly give you guys value. I'm hoping that this video brings some insight of why it's so important that you don't just hire Joe off the street to create your website or to protect your website or even do and handle your social media. Along the lines of what you were saying with Facebook, there is a company, the big company, I won't say who, they were actually hacked. And so all of their profiles they had access to manage their clients' ad accounts, they were also hacked too. So that's why the two-factor authentication is so important, because
Yeah.
it's like, if you have other people managing your stuff, don't you want to know that they're doing a good job?
And I mentioned that you need to have it on your accounts, but to that point, anybody who has access to your account needs to have, you mandate it, two-factor authentication. And also, I think it's a really good idea to have some additional accounts that have access, we call break glass accounts. So think about, in a building, they have the fire alarms, right? Way back when I was, little one, they used to have these little like hammers, and they actually had glass over the front of those. You would smash that glass with the little hammer that sat on the front of the thing, and then you could pull the handle down to set the fire alarm off. So that's what we call break glass accounts. So that would be an account you don't use for your daily, Facebook account, that type of thing. And use that and make that an administrator too. So if something happens where your primary account gets hacked, now ideally you've prevented that. But if it did, at least you could use that account to get back to your properties. We're dealing with this right now. A chiropractor from California reached out to us. 13 years of personal Facebook history, all your family photos, everything.
Gone.
Unavailable at the
Oh my
moment. It's not
gosh.
gone at the moment, but it's unavailable. Or we don't know if it's gone.
Because they were hacked?
Yeah, his account was taken over, probably because they use simple passwords, or they use the same password at Facebook that they use at insert any other place.
That's me.
Please tell me it's not you now.
It's me.
Oh my.
Okay.
She's gonna fix that right
Well,
away
hold on.
after this.
Okay, switching gears though. I want to talk about specifically website security. Obviously, I trust you, but before we knew and had this relationship together, he would come after me because we share some mutual clients. That's how we met. And he was like, I need to know this, and this. And at a certain point, I was just like, basically, here's the keys to like my kingdom. Let me know if it's not secure, because if it's not secure, then I'm gonna take appropriate steps to make sure it's secure. Because obviously I wanna provide not only a beautiful website, but a functional website, and one that's safe, right? Especially because my clients deal with patient information, so then we have to take in HIPAA to account. And these are all the things that I know, because I love chiropractic. My husband's a chiropractor, it just makes sense. So anyways, a little pull the curtain back a little bit. You actually took a look into the platform that I use, and I'll let you tell them.
Yeah, I didn't find anything that jumped out at me as problematic. And we're gonna dive in a little bit more detail as to why comparing, those platforms, because here's the deal, right? Any new vendor that we work with for our clients, I'm gonna vet them. Whether that's a new EHR vendor, whether it's a new website provider, we go and spend time, and we don't ask simple questions that they go, oh yeah, we got it covered, or yeah, whatever. No, we dive deep. It might get a little bit noisy. We are at an airport after all, and there's a plane coming in.
He only flew in, not a big deal.
Yeah, right. To that point, before we dive back into this, you and I were talking about this earlier. I'm not an expert in website development. Don't want to be, might I add. My graphical design capability, well, let's just leave it at that. I'm not that great at it. But what I'm really good at is security. In the same way, I fly airplanes, and you don't. Although I could probably teach her. I might sometime.
I could barely drive a car. You don't want me flying an airplane. No.
But seriously, we have an obligation to hire people who actually know what they're doing. And so many chiropractors go out and hire, we can insert whatever vendor, IT companies who, they put, McAfee, Norton, all those big names on there. We're secure. Or they'll say, hey, we have HIPAA secure email because we have Gmail. I hear statements like that. Same thing with websites. I've worked with people that have gone in and they had hired some guy that can put a pretty site together. I mean, there's so much more to developing a site than just making it look good. In fact, that's almost an afterthought, or should be, to other things that, can it convert? Can it actually make you money? Like, people don't, why do you have a website? Why do people have websites?
I think that it's a space of all the things for that doctor. My friend Jenna Quinton with Adjust Your Media, I would almost argue that her responsibilities as a social media manager are more important than what I do. And I say that because we're living in a time where people go to social media first for almost everything. I mean, look at TikTok. People go to TikTok to learn how to get stains out of their clothes or to hear about the latest conspiracy theory. I mean, it's just a wealth of knowledge, right? A lot of people are going to find you first on social media, and then they're typically going to Google you, look at your Google reviews, see if you pan out as a professional that you say that you are. And typically the next step from that is the website. And we want to make sure the website is up to date with information. I did a presentation for Life West College, actually, for Dr. Phil Dieter. Shout out Dr. Phil, love
Hey, Dr.
you.
Phil.
We love you. And he actually challenged me. He was like, I want you to put together a presentation and tell my students why a website's even necessary in an age of social media. And I was like, dang, that's a really good one because I don't know. And I didn't know at the time. So I started doing research, and the Harvard Business School actually found a few really interesting statistics. 98% of people will judge a business and the business's credibility based on the aesthetics of the website. So not even the words. Everyone argues copy is really important, and it is. But a lot of people will judge the way something looks before they read what's on the page. So my job, I feel like, is to take all of the things that you're putting out there and putting it in a secure place where they are basically ready to book an appointment, and it's easy and it works. Also mobile responsiveness and SEO.
Yeah, does it look good on there? I often ask my clients, like, what do you want people to do when they go to your website? And if they say call me, and they're like, then why is your phone number in microscopic print all the way at the bottom of the website? It should be front and center at the top, big fonts, if that's what you want them to go do.
And clickable. You have to think. People are so used to things being fast and easy.
Mobile. You click right on it, dials the number right on the spot.
Yeah. So my job, I just feel like, is to take all the work that Jenna would do or Dan would do and kind of put it in one really nice space where it's like, okay, this makes sense based on the social media and the reviews, and then the website looks really nice. I also hate stock images, and so we use a lot of personalized photos.
Love it.
Which most of my docs get two to four appointments a week from their website, which might not jump up and down because I'm not over here telling you I'm going to get you 89 new patients in a week, but those are real numbers, and those and those are real leads. So if you did whatever your case value in your office is, just say on the low times 2, would that benefit you or your family in any way, making that weekly? I mean,
yeah.
So
I kind of went back to the beginning for a reason when it comes to website security, because you've invested time, you've invested money, you've invested effort to have a website that is bringing patients. You're a chiropractor. You help people be proactive with their health so that they can function better from the inside out, and make sure that the things that happen in life, the thoughts, the traumas, the toxins, all those types of things don't impact their quality of life so they can function better. You do all of those things. You want to see those patients. These websites are converting. They're bringing in more patients, more people that you can help. But you don't take the time to secure it.
which is just as important, in my opinion.
You don't take, it is very, because you've invested all this time. So now your website gets taken down. That means you're not able to help as many people because they're not seeing who you are. They see, they're redirected to some Chinese website or something like that, because that never happens.
Speaking of taking care of the insides, right, of whatever you're using, can you shed some light on WordPress versus Wix versus High Level versus Cherry Picked, and what you've seen in your experience of maybe some of the more secured options? I think the number one question I get asked by you guys all the time is, well, why do you not use WordPress? And I have my own opinions, but again, I like to partner with people who know more than I do about a particular topic, and so that's why I wanted to interview you, Dan. But just speak on the different.
Yeah, so I'm not a website developer, but I do know how to secure them, and it's not the business I want to be in, but it's a business that I'm in by necessity. And so we find so many folks to just go out. Let's just talk WordPress. It is by far the most prolific website development platform that is out there.
Anyone can realistically develop a plugin for a WordPress site.
Yeah, and you don't know if it's secure either.
Okay, that's one of my main points as to why I don't use WordPress, and I'll tell you why. So isn't it considered open source, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yep, it's open source.
So, and I just always had this deep feeling as soon as I started Cherry Picked that I was going to be helping a lot of people, and I didn't want to use a plugin that would break, because that would mean a lot of work for me. So I wanted to find something more secure before I knew super in-depth security things or necessities, in my opinion. But go on.
Yeah, so WordPress is the most prolific platform out there when it comes to web development for small businesses in particular. And so the challenge is anybody can spin up a site. You can go pay $5 a month and go spin up a WordPress site and
Or go to Fiverr.
develop something on it or have someone develop it on there. I mean, it's easy to do. However, you spent that time, you got it the way you want, you've tweaked it, you've got all that kind of stuff. And then most web hosts and most even web developers, and you don't even know to ask this question, and that's part of the challenge. It's like you need to work with people who understand the stuff that they're working with. And you don't know that they don't know, but a lot of these developers don't. And they will just spin up a site and that's it. Because if you're paying $5, $10, $20, even $30 a month, just your hosting alone, a lot of cases, that is not including security. And so what'll happen is hackers will find a back door into WordPress and compromise it. We've had 2 clients now had their websites compromised before we got them secured for them. One of them we moved over to Jill. They've not only got the security they need now, but more importantly, they have a website that is converting and it's being continued to be tweaked to convert even better. And they have nothing but amazing things to say, which is why I absolutely love working with Jill. But yeah, seriously, at the end of the day, you must go make sure your website is secure. And so if you are using WordPress, and if you're not sure, feel free to reach out to either one of us. I can have a quick look and see if they're using WordPress. I can ask the people what security they put in there. There's 2 major security platforms out there. One is called WordFence, the other is called Securi, and both of them are necessary. I use them both actually to secure WordPress websites. Now, I didn't tell you that to get geek on you. I'm telling you that because you can ask your WordPress developer, hey, do you have WordFence installed? Now, WordFence, our clients that we secure their WordPress sites, we pay for it so that they get the best security in there. But I don't want to be in that business, to be honest. I'd rather have Jill develop it on the platform that we've already taken a look at, we know is secure as it can possibly be. So that's the simple answer to that. As far as some of the other platforms, again, you're a chiropractor. Do you want patients self-cracking themselves? Like, that's the equivalent.
Hold on. I love when people would come into our office and they're like, do you have any prior experience going to a chiropractor? And they're like, no, but I have my boyfriend walk on my back. I'm like, why would you do that? Why?
No.
Like, doctors go to school for 4 years to learn how to be a chiropractor. Why would you do that, And it's kind of like we take that same passion around chiropractic into what we're doing for the profession. I could literally say, oh, I just do websites, but I don't think I just do websites. I think I protect chiropractors.
Yep.
Another thing, explain to me why it would be important for someone to have a BAA with anyone they work with in regards to anything online.
A BAA is a business associate agreement, and that is surrounding HIPAA. So if the people that you work with, for example, your IT company, every person, I don't care if you just pay a guy by the hour to come in and tweak your computers when something's broke, which is not a great idea, by the way. That's a whole other day's conversation. Kind of like having someone walk on your back. Your IT guy, you need to have a business associate agreement with if they are going to be reasonably expected to have access to or transmitting or any of that kind of stuff, PHI or personal health information. So HIPAA requires that.
What do you think about a website designer having their clients sign that?
I don't know that it's absolutely necessary. It really depends what you're going to be using that website for. If they're just, filling out a form and stuff like that, first of all, that form should say on there, hey, don't put personal health information in there. This form is not secure. Whether you've taken steps to secure it, like I know you have, is not the point. We still don't want you going and people doing it. Now, people's health information is up to them. If they want to still fill that out, that's up to them. But at the end of the day, you should take reasonable steps to prevent them from doing that, or at least advise them not to. So as far as a BAA, as far as a website is concerned, again, it depends what you're doing. Depends what the website's doing.
We actually do have a BAA.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
That we started just having everyone sign. It kind of piqued my interest when a lot of people on Facebook began to get hacked. And again, just that level of security where I wanted to make sure everyone's covered.
Yeah, a BAA is just simply saying, hey, if my website gets compromised, I'm going to let you know so that you can take appropriate action and we can look to see if there was any health information in the website. Ideally, there shouldn't be.
Right.
You surely shouldn't be storing anything in there, but at the end of the day, that's the purpose of the BAA.
So again, it's just that one notch above, like what might not necessarily be normal. I don't want to be normal. I want to walk in excellence. And so that's why we have those things in place.
And by the way, that's exactly why I love working with Jill, because she goes above and beyond. It's not status quo. It's not accepting that I'm just going to be okay where I'm at. It's, hey, how do I raise the bar? Our number 4 core value in our company is raise the bar. Create awesome, live awesome, be awesome. When we see other partners and vendors who raise the bar, I get excited about that.
Well, I think it comes from a very personal place, right? Like, I'm using the golden rule that my mom always taught me when I was like a child of treat others how you want to be treated. And I just felt Jason, who's my husband, and we were never really treated like a fantastic way when it came to anything regarding marketing our business online. And I just happened to fall in love with website design. Don't ask me why. I know I'm weird, but I love it. And I mean, it's one of those things, you know, like maybe that's what I was created to do. I don't know. But like what I'm doing stems from a very personal place of like, this is how I wish we were treated. And because I wasn't, then maybe that's my niche. And that's why Cherry Picked is successful the way that it is. First of all, we all know that the niche of chiropractic is really random. So why are you doing this specifically for chiropractors?
Yeah, so we're a little over 10 years old this year. And
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The simple answer is relationships. And people who I formed relationships with in the chiropractic space over 10 years ago took time to help my family become truly healthy, to get off of long-term medications, to be able to educate us, to help us to understand that chiropractic isn't just about neck and back pain, that it's about function, true function, as I talked about earlier. And if we understand that our bodies need to be healthy and that chiropractic can help the body function at a higher level to allow the body to do what God designed it to do, and that's to heal itself when needed. Chiropractors often say, God doesn't need any help, it just needs no interference. And so the ability for the human body, which is powerful and wonderfully made, to be able to heal itself when that interference is removed is something that really excited me. I've experienced, and in addition to that, I started realizing I had tons of relationships around me with people that are chiropractors, people that poured into me, that took time to help my family become healthy. And they weren't making any money doing that. They just, started calling chiropractors to help find my 1-year-old daughter at the time, who was 14 today, to find someone that could help her. Actually, she was 2.
Wait, you took a dig at me from being from Florida, so you're super old.
Yeah, I am.
14-year-old daughter. I'm just joking.
I am.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, behind the camera is my 22-year-old son, who owns a company which does everything that you're seeing here.
If you like this video, reach out to him. We'll drop your information in the link right here that you're going to put in the video so they can reach out to you.
Yeah,
thank you for being
Austin
here.
McCoy Films. So yeah, he's done a great job. And I am super old. I won't tell you how super old I am, but
Let's take a guess. 24.
Yeah, she's so kind. You need to double that, a little bit more than double that. But anyway, seriously, it's become a passion for me to really help chiropractors, because here's the deal, right? You want to help people, and then your business gets compromised, cybersecurity, your computers get compromised.
And then all the time, efforts, energy, money going in to recoup that stuff, and or if it's gone.
Yeah, well, and you're not seeing patients. You're not seeing patients that you were trying to help.
Well, aren't personal problems business problems, right? Like how many times?
I love that saying.
Right? Like how many times have you been in a fight with your spouse? I mean, like, it does affect your office, right? So like, why would you want to just take a risk of having this affect your business, right? Because now you're losing money. You could be losing patients because your attitude's poor, which is understandable. I mean, it's life.
Real story, okay? Had a chiropractor who, a year after we started working with them, they were seeing about 400 patients, 410 patient visits a week. They had a breach. They had their former IT guy, this is where we got involved, who took an unencrypted hard drive with 8,000 patient records on it off-site and lost it. We went over this for a 2-month period when we were trying to find this hard drive, and we forensically proved it was empty, but that's an aside. at the end of the day, what was going through the chiropractor and his team's head during that time was mayhem. And a year later, we were doing a business review with them, as we do with our clients quarterly, and we were looking over, hey, can we put technology in place to help you grow your practice? And I'm like, what happened last year? How did things go? And they're like, it was great, but during the month of March to May, we had like $250,000 drop over the previous year. And so we started thinking about it, and then it dawned on him that was during the time that they were going through that breach. Now, just what happened in his head impacted his practice. So, you know, to say that, oh, it's no big deal, I'll just let insurance cover it, it's not only foolish on your part, it's a real big deal. So it's important to pay attention to this. By the way, if you're not a growing chiropractor and you don't care about growth, just turn this video off now, because it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, we'll just be friendly when we see you around.
But if you're serious about working with people who want to help you grow and will help you grow.
Well, not even that. We just genuinely care about you too.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see that growth because we know how it's going to affect you and your personal life with your family and being able to do things you've always wanted to do. I mean, it just is so deep rooted in what we're doing. It's not surface level talk. I mean, look how I'm dressed. Like, I just wanted to bring you guys value.
Done is better than perfect. We just
True.
want to freeze our butts off to give you guys value.
Can't feel my fingers. It's fine.
Anyway, anything else I can help you answer?
Did we cover how you went from flying airplanes to securing tech?
Well, I mean, airplanes is just a passion. It's a hobby. I spent 15 years as a design engineer for a large aerospace company, and it was always my passion to fly airplanes. And so 1999, a long time ago, I got my license to fly airplanes.
Dang, you are old.
I got my license to fly airplanes, and you got to be at least 17, and I was older than that, so there's that. But yeah, so 1999, I started flying airplanes, and you know, took an 11-year break when I left that company to start this business. But back to flying airplanes, and here we are. So
Love it. Someone wants to get a hold of you because they're like, well, I don't know if I necessarily am ready to take the next step with Dan. Like, he seems cool, but I don't know. How can they get a hold of you and your company?
yeah, so you can find me on Facebook, Dan McCoy. I answer my DMs all the time. TechSubluxation.com. If I have to tell you how to spell that, that's a problem. But TechSubluxation.com, and you can reach us. It'll be on the video, but yeah, you can reach us there, or you can hit me up to my email. You can hit me at dan@techsublux.com or TechSubluxation.com. Both of them work, and be happy to help you. Talk about what it would look like to work with Tech Subluxation and make sure you are properly protected, productive, and profitable with your practice when it comes to technology.
Well, folks, there you got it. Have it. Y'all. Southern. Try to bring my southernness up to the north.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, well, I hope, again, you got at least one golden nugget from this video. Let us know how you like it in the comments.
See ya.